Star Trek is a mess. Discovery is garbage. Picard is trash. The movies are mediocre. Lower Decks isn't really Star Trek. To be completely honest, even Enterprise isn't very good. For quite some time now, those behind Star Trek have not remembered what makes it Star Trek. It's been up to the fans to create their own little videos, their own little movies and series, all of which are much more Star Trek than anything official. When some want Star Trek, they even turn toward the Orville. So how can this be fixed? How can the Star Trek universe be saved? The answer is simple. Q. Q is the best way to save Star Trek. Q can show up, snap his fingers, and set everything right. He can reset the Star Trek universe to a time right after Voyager, and all things that came after that, along with all the detestable prequel things like Discovery, can be classified as non-canon. The Star Trek timeline could then continue in the future direction highlighted by Voyager, when they received a visit from Starfleet of the future. That version of Starfleet would be much more interesting and much more Star Trek than what CBS is pumping out now. Then, going forward, Star Trek could continue the story and stop messing around with prequels. Instead of trying to muck around with the franchise's history, continue to write the story into the future and do a good job. Make the focus on the stories, not the politics. Many in Hollywood today, including the streaming services, don't know how to make a show if it doesn't involve politics. They don't understand the concept of making a good story for story's sake. A story that everyone can enjoy. Politics must go back to its rightful place in Star Trek, which was quietly behind the scenes, not taking the focus and being pushed into everyone's face. Everything that was created after Voyager, starting with Enterprise, could simply be erased. Would CBS actually make an effort at removing the politics from Star Trek and saving it? Probably not as long as Alex Kurtzman was around. Kathleen Kennedy, the great ruiner of Star Wars, Alex Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams should form a new production company where they could make all the trash they wanted. Then either someone new could be brought in to head up Star Trek, or the franchise could be sold off to another company that actually understood it and wanted to improve it. Kathleen Kennedy is fond of saying, "The Force is female." In Star Trek terms, I suppose the analog would be, the transporter is transgender. This is ridiculous, and Q could be the way to fix it all.